Hey gang, part 2 of should you lock your knees or have a slight bend in the knees in forward fold. All right, so in this video I want to talk about limited hip flexion. What does that mean? So our hips, human hips are meant to have a lot of range of motion, especially in flexion. We don't have that much extension, but we have a lot of flexion, and that helps us get up off the ground. It helps us move and bend and pick things up. Those are important actions for us to maintain. So when I see somebody in my class and they're avoiding flexing their hip, I would like to know why that is, and I might want to give them some suggestions. One of the first ones that I would suggest is let your knees bend in a forward fold. Look at the difference. If I'm locking my knees back or keeping them locked, because we have this misconception out there that many of our students, they think that yoga is about stretching, and they think that they're supposed to be in a position that optimizes that stretching sensation. They get the biggest stretching sensation they can possibly get, and they think that that is with straight knees. Well, I have to say that if you experiment in your own body, you still get quite a stretching sensation here, but it's not even about that. Look at what happened. If I have my knees locked back, I cannot get as much hip flexion at my hips. Soon as I bend my knees, get my muscles active, I'm able to get more hip flexion. So for somebody in my class, if they have limited hip flexion, they don't want to flex their hips, first thing I'm going to suggest to them is let your knees bend. And I want their legs active. I want them to recapture that hip shape. That's very important. So what I often hear then is like, well, my hamstrings are super tight. That's why my hips don't want to bend. Okay, what are you going to do about your tight hamstrings? You need to load your hamstrings. You don't need to stretch them for a while anyways. So those hamstrings that are screaming at you when you lengthen them, they are often weak. And stretching them does not help. It makes it worse. It's not the right kind of load. You need to activate the muscle. And as I said in the video 1, when you bend your knees, your muscles are active in the pose. When your knees are locked or hyperextended, the muscles turn off. So you're going to actually reduce those screaming hamstrings. You're going to reduce that sensation if you let the knees bend, and you're going to start strengthening and loading the hamstring properly. So that's an important goal to achieve, I think, in the yoga practice. So let the knees bend, get the muscles active. I have more active hamstrings, more active quads. My hips can flex, and I can use my legs to power me up out of the fold as well. So there's so much benefit in avoiding that locked position of the knee, especially if you have reduced hip flexion and tight hamstrings. Okay, so load the hamstrings, let your hips flex, let the knees bend a little bit if you need in forward fold. All right, my opinion only. Feel free to challenge me. Feel free to start a discussion about it. I would love to do that. And I have one more video on this particular debate, has to do with low back pain. Join me for that. Bye for now.